Well, welcome everybody to the special call meeting, South Fulton, City of South Fulton. Okay, hold on. Take a beat clerk this time. Okay, thank you. Ms. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Mayor William Bell Edwards here. Mayor Pro Tem Mark Baker. Present. Councilmember Catherine Rao.
Present.
Councilmember Carmelita Guns.
Present.
Councilmember Helen Z. Willis.
Present.
Councilmember Naima Gilliard. Present. Councilmember Rosie Jackson.
Present.
And Councilmember Khalid.
Present.
Mr. Mayor, you have a floor.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Read the first action item, please.
Your first item for consideration today is a request approval to amend the fiscal year 2018 budget. That's under Resolution 2018-048.
Who's speaking on this?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I move that we go into executive session to discuss personnel.
Second.
Properly moved second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Go into executive. Before we go into the executive session, was there any action taken?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll take a motion to close the executive session.
Make a motion to close the executive session.
Second.
Been properly moved to second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Executive session is closed. Ms. Clerk, would you read the next item?
Yes, sir. First item is a request approval to amend the fiscal year 2018 budget, Resolution 2018-048.
Mr. Madden?
Yes, sir. So, as mentioned in the previous council meeting, we saw an opportunity to kind of true up the budget, and I believe that this will be the last budget amendment, although it is customary within the last month of a budget's fiscal year, when all expenses have been captured, that there may be an additional budget amendment, which is kind of, the cleanup amendment. But just to highlight some of the key areas, we have had an increase in revenue of approximately $3 million overall. And while from the original FY18 budget, that is still lower than projected, when I first came in, I think we highlighted some of the challenges and we requested council's support in bringing on new services, and I think that has resulted in increased revenue. And so in the memo that you were provided as a part of your packet, we have included where those areas are. I would also say that there are some key expense areas that I've noticed during my time here in which we have included some increases. Some of those include when looking at our legal counsel, the approved budget was at about $500,000, but our expenses are trending higher than that. So we've increased it by about $100,000. Our public works approved budget of around $6 million. We are actually, based on the increased service levels that we've requested, we're seeing some additional billing, and so we are increasing that by about $520,000. I think one of the other areas is that there is a position in pay and class for the transportation director. We are requesting it's already in the pay and class, but notifying council that we would change that to public works director and leave the class the same, but it would allow us to be able to post for that position, and that person help lead the transition of transportation. I also, in the 6 or 7 municipalities that I have worked with, I've seen the needs and I guess support related to council, and I think you've seen through my first 2 budget amendments that I believe that our allocation was extremely low for council, and I think the required training that you have and additional activities were also underfunded. And so in looking at that, the budget amendment also includes an increase, and I apologize, I have a typo. I actually put 4,000, but it's actually for 5,000 per council member through the end of the year. So that's prorated across the remaining time. But that would allow the actual expenses or allocate for the expense allowance that would ensure that all actual and necessary expenses incurred by the city council in the performance of your duties would be able to be covered. Because I think, moving forward, we needed to make some adjustments there. And then I think finally, one area I wanted to highlight that are two areas, one that is included and one that is not, is the allocation of about $20,000 in services to assist in Fulton Industrial Boulevard project management activities, and then an additional similar amount for the zoning resolution. Yes, the consultant for the zoning resolution as requested by council. While the funding is included in the budget amendment, it was not specifically called out in the memo. And so I just wanted to highlight those two areas of change.
I'll make a motion to accept the 2018 budget mid-year budget modification as proposed by the city manager as just communicated.
With those
With those additions as reflected in this report.
The properly moved to second discussion. Ms. Gilliard.
I went through it, as you probably know,
Yes, ma'am.
line by line, and I compared the adopted budget with the first amendment and with the second amendment. And I can see, a lot of movement between the two. So, my only concern is that I don't have enough detail, and I think the council needs the detail. So I would like for you to tell us when you can give us a detailed budget by department for 2018.
Yeah, I would like to ask for the previous question.
Well, yes.
Did we not include it in our backup document? Okay. Sure, we can make sure to get that to you by close of business tomorrow. Close of business
That
tomorrow, no
would
problem.
really be great. And I'm really talking about in the same format as the budget that we have for 2019, by department. And that would really be great, because while we're looking at how we're ending, we can see where we're going next year. So I really do appreciate that.
Not a problem.
And thank you for being able to give us that good turnaround.
Ms. Phillips.
I asked my previous question, so we call it.
Move on to the previous question. You got a second? Properly moved to second. We're on the issue of moving to the previous question. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? That passes. So the original motion, would you restate it again, Mr. Banks?
Yes, we got a motion made by Councilmember Rowell and seconded by Councilmember Jackson to accept the fiscal year 2018 budget recommendations with the additions as reflected by the city manager today.
It's been properly moved to second. Let's vote. That passes.
Okay.
Okay? Ms. Rowell, go ahead.
I know you didn't speak to this in your general overview, but I thought it was important to note that, we get a lot of feedback from the public, and I'm happy to see that you addressed the grass cutting, because it's an issue across this city. I appreciate you seeing the need to address that, and I think it addresses fears that we've heard from our constituents, so I appreciate that, city manager.
Ms. Clark?
The next item is a request approval to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with Fulton County to conduct a special election for Freeport exemptions at the November 6, 2018 general election. That's agreement 2018-022.
I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with Fulton County to hold the November 8th election to address the Freeport exemption.
Second.
Properly moved in second. One thing I would add is that I would like to see a strategic plan in terms of getting the word out to vote on the Freeport. Okay? Go ahead, Mr.
Who will write the question that was produced on the ballot?
It's already there.
So it's in your packet, but the city attorney wrote the wording. It's on page 34 and 35 of 106.
And so, and it won't change. This is exactly as it will be. We will submit it to Fulton County that way.
Correct.
And then what happens after that?
Well, there's a timeline that's been requested by Fulton County, so we're just going to continue to coordinate and communicate with the county, adhere to their timeline. We're going to do an election call, which will be a notice to the public. There'll be subsequent notices that go out. We'll execute, complete the agreement with the county. And the county will, for the most part, take the lead on this, but myself, the city manager, and Mark will do whatever's necessary that they request to make it accomplished.
Would they have the ability to change? Once we submit the question, can the county have the ability to change?
If we approve the change,
Yes.
then the
Oh,
county
if they
can
approve
change.
it. That's-
But the
Am I
wording
correct, Mr.
is the city's discretion.
Okay, that's your answer.
I just want to be clear on the process, and I apologize, I've been out of town, so I just got this. All 4 of these questions will be on the ballot?
Correct, yes.
So we're going to do some voter education
Yes,
around all 4 of these
that's what I was
questions.
speaking of earlier.
Perhaps at our electoral college, October 13th. Thank you.
All right. Let me get Ms. Gilliard then, Ms. Collins.
I just want to make sure that the clerk puts in the minutes my request, and when you read it back, I didn't hear it. So make sure it's in there, please.
Certainly, it'll be part of the minute.
Thank you.
Ms. Gunn?
So for the sake of the public and I guess for us going into this intergovernmental agreement, how much is this going to cost? I do understand that it's here, but if someone can verbally explain how much this will cost.
It's $25,829.63.
Okay. And then also to have looked at how we're going to strategically educate the public about this, and if it's going to be some marketing behind it.
So I think that is in the budget amendment, the $20,000 that's allocated will help for us to coordinate that, as well as our general budget. I think we initially asked for about $75,000 in communications, and so that will be for the corridor in general, but $20,000 realigned in the amendment to help bring on a consultant and a firm to help us do that.
Just for the IGA for the county, it's just $25,000.
For the IGA, yes ma'am, they're 2 separate things.
Okay.
$25,000 to put it on the ballot, which is their cost, and then we have our own marketing funds as well as the $20,000 that we did in the amendment to help coordinate that process.
Okay, I'm clear. Thank you.
I would like the council to be given direction on the strategy. And I understand certain things cannot be publicized because you can't show your entire hand, but, and I was hoping that this strategy will be discussed in our strategic session that you are, that we're planning with council. But that, $20,000, I mean, I don't think it's a lot, but I think it's going to help us get, some things done. But for me, I want to understand the strategy on how we proceed with securing the Fulton Industrial.
Do you want me to respond to that now? Okay, yeah.
I'm just explaining.
I got you.
I'm just explaining to you, we're allocating $20,000, and I would like for this council to be given a strategy on how, and I understand certain things cannot be.
I got you. I'm saying I received it. I get you.
Seeing no further comment, let's vote, please.
Well, we have a motion.
Did we have a motion?
Okay.
Yeah.
Motion to approve. No
I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
I can make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Probably moved and seconded. Vote. I'll see you all back at the next meeting.
No, 6.
Yes, six.
Oh, you said
Me.
We got 6 o'clock.
yes.
So our next meeting will be another millage rate public hearing at 6 p.m. this evening at the same place.
Yes, and we'll be leaving there to go to National Night Out. I hope we see all of you there.